But that was a good transition point for us anyway, because we talked about all of that. And we did say that we wanted to give you guys a wedding update. And we had actually a couple wedding updates this weekend. This week. We haven't done really anything for our wedding. The biggest thing was
She's lying.
No.
Lying.
No.
She's lying.
As far as like...
The wedding's already been planned 30 years ago.
It was planned 30 years
she's
ago.
Lying.
It was planned when I was like 5.
Yeah.
I mean, that's every woman. I think you guys can understand that. We know what we want to wear. We know what we want our bridesmaids to wear. We want where we want to be. So yes,
sorry, I didn't mean to have to call you out like that, but you can't. You can't lie to these people.
You don't have to call me out. Women know that. Women know that they've planned their wedding forever. But with that, we truly haven't. We set our budget. We haven't like. It's less than a year away, and we haven't really booked anything yet. So we did a couple things this past week, and we are really excited about it. And the first thing is Manny mentioned a friend that we have, Giovanna and Taylor Hunt, are friends that we have. And Giovanna is a fantastic photographer. We know Giovanna and Taylor. They were our old neighbors when we lived in Gainesville. And Giovanna she's a fantastic photographer. She does it all. And it's really cool because they are our age and they have a son that's Joao's age. So Joao and Ollie love each other, and there's so much. They ask for each other all the time. They ask to like FaceTime each other, and it's super cute. But they're cute. So Giovanna took. We had engagement photos.
Yep.
This last week, which was really cool.
So we've known Taylor and Giovanna for about how long? Like 2 years now?
So we met them in March, the year that you graduated, but we didn't move there until May.
Yeah, so we met them as soon as we moved in.
Yeah.
And
yeah, because they were tiny. Ollie and Joao were like
they were
6 months and. No, they weren't even walking when they first met. I don't have. Yeah. No, because they were just like scooting, and Ollie was like, Ollie was still getting his court. They're 3 months apart, which now age doesn't show. But when you're 6 months and 9 months, that's a big age difference when you're babies. But so with that, we got these pictures taken, and we went to DC. So it was us and Giovanna and my sister came, and basically she was the one that was. The best thing that happened to me. Her sister was the person. She tells me to suck it in.
She was the one carrying our stuff.
Yeah, she was the one.
Like, here you go, Katie.
But she tells me to suck it in, which I need that because Manny thinks I look good no matter what, and
no, we had a whole production, and it was all based on Giovanna's really good. I don't know how to really.
I don't know how to put
describe
it
in words.
There were sneak peeks that were incredible.
Yeah, she's really fire. You guys need to really, if you guys any of that kind of really artistic stuff going on, just consult her, because even if she can't do it, she'll get you the right person.
She will let you know.
Yeah, she's definitely up there. Very underrated, I would say, in my opinion. But yeah, so she had obviously all her camera equipment out there. Then we had Katie obviously there, just I wouldn't say moral support, but she was like her. It was perfect. It was like she was like her assistant inadvertently, because
like telling us where to put our legs and what to do, and Giovanna was cute because she was like she also speaks Spanish. She's bilingual, and it was sometimes I forget what the word is in English, and she was like, "Oh, I'm so grateful for Katie." So it was cool. We had a whole production, and
none
then
of
at one point,
none
of it was planned. At one point, Manny and I are getting our picture taken, and I look up, and no joke, there's like a school bus full of people just staring at us. They're like, "Oh my God, what cute pictures!" And I was like, "Oh my gosh, this is so embarrassing."
Yeah, definitely. Being in the DC area on a Saturday when we thought it was going to be a lot colder than it was, but it was a nicer day. There was so many tourists and people out there while we were taking pictures. I mean, most of the time we would just let them go by so that we didn't feel awkward doing whatever we were doing.
Or I let them go by because I was in a full-on squat and my quads were on fire.
Yeah, but it was just funny because at one point I remember we were just holding a pose, or like we were trying to get into the pose, and we just had to do it at that time. I don't know either, whatever the case may be. And there's literally like people talking to us as we're trying to like be serious or smile and do whatever in the direction of Giovanna, who's taking the pictures. And I was just thinking in my head, I mean, I don't know. It was just weird. Like those people were like,
I did not
like everyone was just sitting there like.
I told you guys, I don't like being behind the camera.
Yeah, it was different, but
it's still so much different than this.
Yeah, I think.
But Giovanna was so relaxed, and it was really nice to have her do it again. Like I have no words.
Yeah.
So what we'll do,
first of all, aside from her actual profession, right? She's just a really good person.
But she's also one of my best friends.
Yeah, she's a really good person.
Yeah.
I mean, the whole family, the Hunt family is a really great family.
Yeah,
they're awesome people.
Ollie's adorable. Taylor's a great guy.
But then that also just transfers over into her profession, right?
Yeah.
And you can see it being there. Like we felt like professional supermodels for no reason.
I felt like a model.
Yeah.
I felt.
We were sitting. Giovanna's like, put your leg up, do this, do that, and we're like, what? Just take the goddamn picture, Giovanna. Like, I don't know what to do. Just stop telling me what to do.
And they came out great. I can't wait to see them. We haven't gotten them yet. But I am so excited about it. We'll link. So apart from photography, Giovanna. So we'll link her Instagram, her photography page below. So definitely check her out. We'll also link her Etsy page. So Giovanna and Taylor, on top of amongst the million things that they do, they also have an Etsy page. So Giovanna is an incredible artist, and they both of them together, Taylor and Giovanna, make candles. It's soy, non-toxic.
Pretty much all organic, the best type of candle you could ever have. I mean,
and Taylor is a chemist,
yeah.
So it's like.
So he has a child that lives in his life, right? Or lives in his home. Sorry. So he obviously is thinking like, well, I'm not just going to burn any regular candle, right? Because
it's got to be the best of the best.
Yeah, it has to be the best of the best. And that's the type of people we want to be around. Because that's kind of the way we
have
think.
Them. So I have
whether we know it or not.
I have them running all the time. And so that's, they are just... Shout out Giovanna and Taylor.
Yeah.
And Ollie.
We
love you, Ollie, too.
Yeah. Ollie, you're the best. You showed Joel a lot of things he doesn't learn here.
So yeah, we had our engagement photos, and then we turned right around and also had our food tasting.
Oh man, do we really want to get into
that? Was incredible.
Yeah, we had a food tasting that was supposed to be done the week before even the first video dropped. So Megan fucked up, and
no, we were sick.
Yeah, well, Megan fucked up.
We'll get into that, but we were sick.
We were sick,
and
Megan lost track, and then they called her literally as what were you making? You were making eggplant parmesan. I'm over here like ready for this food, and Megan's over here like, we're supposed to have a tasting today. But
we were sick.
Yeah.
We were sick. We did not have the beer bug, but we would not have been able to go. I did mess up. I did not call them and cancel, and I felt like a horrible human being. But we're gonna hire them anyway, so I just felt bad. I felt like a bad person. But we showed up this past week, and so Manny and I. This place, how long has this been open? It's been more recent, but I don't. Maybe 7 years.
It's definitely coming into
5 years,
like
7 years.
It's I don't know. To be
probably
honest.
since college.
No,
I would say it was not there in high school.
Think for 1 second, right? Because it definitely wasn't high school, but it definitely were you. I don't think.
I would think around my junior, senior year in college, because you were like, Megan, there's a Venezuelan. Doesn't matter.
I don't know.
Relatively new, but hasn't been here forever.
This place opened up. Within the first year, we heard about it. I mean, we heard about it in this Northern Virginia area. Not discrediting any other restaurants or anything like that. There's plenty of them. There's a lot of crazy franchises that are good. But when this place opened up, I'm Venezuelan. We heard about it. We told my mom about it. She said, all right, let's go see what they got. She's like, all right, let's go see what they got. We go there, literally, first time, me, my brother, my sister, my mom. We get there, we sit down, small little, literally like two.
I mean, there was like maybe
6
tables. Yeah.
Like if you sit down, if it's packed, you're literally just having dinner with like 4 other families or 4 other different participants. And so we sit down and we're like, oh, this is kind of nice, this is because that's kind of the vibe you want in a really good restaurant. If the food's good and if everything else is good. So we get there, we sit down, we look at the menu, we're like, oh, my mom reads the whole thing. She doesn't even care about orders, she just reads the whole thing. She's like, okay, they got all these things. He's talking about the natural juices, the way they prepare their meat and all that. So like, okay, let me get the regular traditional stuff, right? So we get the regular traditional stuff. I was asking Mom, I was like, Mom, what is this? I've never heard you make this. And she's like, yeah, I never made that because that takes forever. That takes forever to cook. So I was like, I'm going to order that then. So, because it just obviously has a description underneath. I'm like, that stuff sounds all great put together. We put our order in, get all our food. We're sitting there grubbing, eating, man. My mom's like laughing. She's like, man, this place is really good. And when I heard that, I was like, yeah, they cook better than you, Mom, don't they? and if you know me, how Megan knows me, I literally like straight up just asked her that because she knows like we're completely blind, all open book. She's like, yeah, they make good food here, and then we just had like a whole reminiscing conversation about being back home because like there's obviously that restaurant here is like a gem. Back home there's like thousands, like there's one on every corner. So it's like, dang, it just, every time I go in there, even now, like, when I go in there, I feel like I'm stepping into, like, one of those portals where it takes you somewhere else. Like, I step in there, and, like, I feel like I'm just in Venezuela for, like, that little point in time. And then I leave. But it's awesome. I love that place.
Yeah. But then you invited me to that place.
Oh, yeah.
A long time ago. But, okay, so what we, long story short, well, not too short, but... You tried this place, you invited me, and I was like, I had already loved Venezuelan food before then. I mean, I was like, I would get pumped when Manny would invite me over because I just knew that meant that I would have whatever his mom was cooking.
Now.
Well, I'm vegetarian now.
Vegetarian, pescatarian. Man, when she used to come over to my house, I remember Megan used to walk into my house and used to smell the rice. And, did your mom make rice today? I had to always, every time you came over, I mean, obviously I never told you this, or it's just not something that never came into my mind, but every time, like, back in high school, or like that time where, like, it was, you would come over and we would hang out and you had to be home by a certain time or whatever. If we had a plan where you were coming over the next day or I was going to your house, but vice versa, where you were coming to my house, I would tell Mom, Megan's coming over, so she would say, like, okay, well, I gotta make extra food. Like, she would plan for that. Like, I gotta make extra food because obviously you're coming over. Yeah, so exactly. So she would make extra food, and she knew we trapped you.
Yeah, you guys definitely did with the food. That
you.
Was for sure one of the top reasons I stayed with Manny.
Yeah.
But
so I had my mom in cahoots the whole time. I was like, Mom, just make her the rice. Don't even make her the good stuff yet. I was like, just make her the rice. But she hasn't ever had. Never mind. I don't want to get it there.
But so we knew from like way back now. We knew from the first few times that we had this place that we were like, oh my gosh, if we ever get married, wouldn't it be incredible if this place catered our wedding? Like, that would be so cool. And then, and then we picked our venue a while ago, and we walked around. We're loving the place. The place is awesome. It's beautiful. It's right on the water, and it's beautiful. And then the manager is like, yeah, and we work very closely with this catering company, and they have great food, great service. I work with them almost every weekend because they're always here. They're just incredible. I'm like, oh yeah, that'd be nice. But in the back of my head, I'm like, yeah, no, I'm going to ask Arepas Capital to give us arepas for our wedding. If you guys don't know what arepas is, it's Venezuelan food. It's just a Venezuelan traditional dish. It's like bread. Anyway, so Dough, yeah. So the girl gives me the pamphlet, and I Google it because I'm like, well, they do work with them all the time. It's Arepas Capital. It is just their catering company. So, long story short, if you guys didn't figure it out, the tasting that we went to at this Venezuelan restaurant is this major wedding catering company that we are able to get our wedding catered by. So, long story short, it was really awesome, and we're really happy about that because we got our delicious Venezuelan food, and my little white girl heart is exploding of joy because I get my little Venezuelan food.
Good for you, because it's not like we were gonna get barbecue or anything like that. I would.
No. Well,
we're so traditionally Spanish. We all would have been out there.
Making it ourselves. No, we did
That's
talk about that at first. We did talk about that first because we were like, why don't we just make our own food?
You think these backyard weddings things is not a tradition that you guys hear about where like, not to get too political, but like, obviously the Hispanic community, but like Mexicans, Salvadorians, whatever, those backyard weddings, there's a reason they do that. It's like, man, we're just gonna make this stuff here, guys, man.
Because we got better food than anyone else. Which is why we're able to use Arepas Capital because they have the same food that we eat every day.
Yeah, I mean, even what was it? Not necessarily their. So obviously, when Megan started researching them a little more, they have like the whole catering menu and all that stuff, and they have like different tiers of their menu. So we were like, okay, well, what tier do we pick? What do we pick? Like, do we want this? Do we want that? And it's funny because we were like, we want all the Spanish food. We want all the Spanish food that we love and have eaten there for even years at this point, just by sitting down. And what is it? What was it called? The
Latina Parrilla.
Yeah, the Latina Parrilla, right? So they have that, and she looks and she's like, this is their cheapest option.
It is.
And then we look and like look through all the food and everything, and we're like, this is their best option. There is
by far.
Yeah, like this is
their best. I don't want to say that because I know that their other options are probably great, which is why they're still they are an incredible company. But
I would say for us, right?
For us, it was a perfect option, and it was just like way too good to be true that it was their cheapest option because we wanted Latina food So
we had this tasting, and I was a lucky person because I literally got to eat just about everything. Obviously, Megan got to taste all the rice, 2 different types of rice, all the
yuca, the arepas, and
all the vegetables. Yeah, exactly, all that stuff. And I was just sitting here like, man, I haven't even ordered some of these things at their restaurant because we usually just go straight for the traditional stuff, and like we never really deviate from that. So I as we were sitting there tasting some of these things, I was telling Megan, man, they should have a like wedding. I'm just next time I come here, we're just gonna order the wedding
dish. Yeah,
like
just give me the wedding tasting.
Give me the wedding tasting. I'll pay for that because it was like bunch of food, and then it was also really good. Like everything was really good, so it was awesome. It was. Oh my god, yeah, that's another thing. I don't think I've ever had the dessert there.
Never.
I never had a dessert there because I've had the dessert obviously in my own home. Megan makes that type of dessert now, and we figured out one key ingredient now that we're probably going to use into our own desserts because it was like, man, this changed like the flavor 1000% completely, but it's like it didn't. It was just like perfect, you know.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
Oh my gosh, but it's been hard to plan a wedding when we have so much going on. So it was really nice to have this last week that we could have knocked 2 things out to get our wedding done. We got our engagement photos to get our save the dates, and we got our tasting done, which was really cool. But it is difficult because I've been in school gone for so long. I'm finally home, but not really now. So
so before we get into this next topic, shout out Arepas Capital.
Oh yeah,
if you're in the Northern Virginia area, search Arepas Capital. Please go there. Order. order off of the first page of the menu because that's usually their traditional stuff. But you can order anything on there. Yeah. It doesn't even matter. But the first page is the traditional. And then shout out to Giovanna and Taylor just for being A, really great friends, and then B, for helping us through this past week's engagement photos and all of that. So thank you guys.
Yes. You guys are great.